Hello and welcome. My name is Meepolis and this is Literally Graphic. And today I'm doing the Alphabet Soup book tag. E is for ending. The original tag was created out of alphabetical order by Sean the Book Maniac with links to his video below. So diving right in, question number 1. E is for ending. A book with a great one and one whose ending sucked. When it comes to good endings, I would have to highlight Gail Simone's run on the New 52 Batgirl, which is at top of mind lately as I try to figure out if I want to dive back into doing a fresh review of that or not. And as far as bad endings, I would have to not recommend Panther by Brecht Evans. Overall, I really enjoyed the art. It's just that inexplicably rapey vibe that comes in at the end. It doesn't actually happen on page, but it's definitely something that the author feels way too comfortable playing with alluding to, considering how young the main character is. I keep gaslighting myself on it, like, is it really that bad? Yes, it is. Arg. Next up, E is for elderly, a favorite or memorable elderly character. Not sure if this counts overall, but it's the most recent. I really enjoyed reading the manhwa biography Grass by Gendry Kim Kwam-suk, with the narrative jumping back and forth between Oxin Lee's time before, during, and after her time as a forced comfort woman, with a lot of pages dedicated to her as an older woman. Very interesting page-turning read that was very emotionally resonant. Third question is E is for EU, your favorite contemporary writer, post-World War II to now, from the European Union, and or one you'd like to try. To perhaps court controversy here, but the first thing that popped in my head was Alan Moore. Problematic fave from a country no longer in the EU. I should probably post some new video of himself as everything I had done was before the great channel reset. I didn't really have any Euro comics on my radar that I could find, but flipping through the ones on offer via my local digital library, I settled on Betty's Boob by Veronica Cazot, which I believe is from France. We shall see when I get to that, though. Lol. Next up, E is for E, a writer you'd recommend whose first and or last name begins with E. Apparently not many inspiring E authors on my radar, so while obviously not for everyone, it's probably worth checking out at least one Will Eisner book during your lifetime. I certainly need to revisit and expand my reading of this early big name in the graphic phenomena. Fagin the Jew was an interesting counterpoint to the widely known classic Oliver Twist, and the Contract with God trilogy is pretty fun and interesting. Fifth question is E is for exploration, a new writer, theme, or genre you'd like to try. Pretty adventurous reader. I guess I would just mention my New Year's goal here, which is to read books without pictures from South and Central America and the Caribbean. I've had some success so far, but my reading, or rather listening, of audiobooks is way down, so I'm not as far as I would like. Next up, E is for a Tu Brute, a book in which betrayal plays a central role. Game of Thrones? I jest. But to continue my attempt to highlight graphic novel works, I guess I'll shoehorn Louis Riel, a comic strip biography by Chester Brown, in. It's been a while since I read it, but it's very conflict-centric, and I'm sure there's some betrayal in there somewhere. An interesting read, although not own voices. The oddest part of this book was how Chester Brown, a North American version libertarian, says he actually respected indigenous land rights less after finishing than when he started, to vaguely paraphrase. That's not something I felt was communicated through the book, though, so that's good, I guess. Seventh question is E is for Exception, a book you loved or really liked in spite of it containing what you almost always consider a fatal flaw. Probably Tom King's run on the Vision, which, despite the overall structure of the story, which should have been pretty cliche, wasn't, at least in my humble opinion. Strange, potentially dangerous, new family moves into quiet suburbia. How do robots feel human? What does it mean to be a family? Next up, E is for E, a book with lots of E's. A book title with lots of E's. Focusing in on graphic novels I have read, I wasn't having that much luck until I ran into The Green Lantern Green Arrow Collection Volume 1 by Dennis O'Neil, which has 7 E's and 2 sets of double E's. Wow. I originally read this volume a long time ago when I was trying to read all of Green Arrow's comics I could get my hands on. I'm actually pretty excited to dive into a reread now that I know I can read it on Hoopla, so expect to hear more details about this classic soon. Next up, E is for Ever Present, a book you read a long time ago that has really stuck with you. Promethea? I read it only 7 years ago, so it's not that old, but I have been trying to get my hands on the rest of the series, preferably for free via the library, ever since. I'm sure I'm forgetting something earlier, but I'm not sure if it counts if I can't even remember it. Wrapping up, E is for Eliminate, a group of books you got rid of or want to and why. I guess this applies to books I own. Well, I guess there's a lot of books I kind of want to get rid of, but I can't figure out what is good criteria to not own a book. One I certainly want to get rid of, most specifically, is Worms by Orson Scott Card, but I promised my mom I would read it first. I'm pretty sure it involves weird centipede sex, but I guess we shall see, someday. Because my mom likes this book, I guess that means there isn't sex in it, but still. The cover gives me the bejesus, and Card is an asshole. And that is that. I will continue not tagging people because I am antisocial like that, but feel free, as everyone almost always says, to do this video if you would like. And bye y'all, keep reading and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is recorded on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation. I live here because of British colonization, Indigenous genocide, and more geographically specific, Treaty 13. Also known as the Toronto Purchase, which was finalized in 1805 between representatives of the Crown and certain Mississauga peoples. This treaty was a lie and has since been broken many times over. Saying so reflects only my own small steps towards knowing the truth and does nothing for reconciliation.